Hello. In continuation to practical advice for starting tertiary education, last time I talked about selecting an educational course of your choice. I gave you 6 factors, if you remember, how to select the course on the basis of those factors after shortlisting 3 or 5 courses in front of you. The 6 factors were something like duration of the course, content of the course, then earning capability of the course after that, entry criteria and all that. Today I'm going to talk about selecting educational institution. You see, some of the educational courses are available in more than one educational institutions. That means you have a choice. Which educational institution you should select is the question. Now that you've already selected the educational course, on the basis of that, you check which educational institution providing that course is most suitable to you. Again, I will give you 6 factors where you can compare these institutions and give them marks accordingly. The first one is the location of the institution. When you're thinking of educational institution, your area of study, your location of study now, then you have to check how far is this from your residence. Can you commute every day to and fro from the institution, from your house? You have to check the timings of the course also. You have to check the distance of the location, and then you have to check what transport is available and easy for you to use. From that point of view, the location becomes very important. Do you think this particular place is far from your house and you cannot go every day commuting? Then do you need to relocate? Do you need to go to that area to stay to finish the course? So that will bring us to the second factor, which is cost. So now we are going to consider the cost as a factor. In the cost, we have to think of the course fee. There will be a particular course fee attached to different educational institutions, which might not be the same. Then living cost. Living cost in the sense that first find out where will you live. If you are going to relocate, is the educational institution offering accommodation? Can you stay in some hostel there? Can you stay in some dormitory there? Do you have to hire a room and share with your colleague in the same vicinity of the institution? All this you will have to consider, which will add to the cost of the course. So what is the total cost? Another aspect you cannot ignore is you might have additional cost pertaining to that particular course. For example, do you need to buy a laptop or a computer? Or if you have a computer, do you need to upgrade that computer? Do you need a mobile, or do you need to upgrade your mobile? Do you need some tools? Do you need to buy a wireless accessories to be able to hear better, which you are not using now? And the material related to the course. For example, if you are doing something in arts, then do you need to buy some arts material which will cost more? Considering all this together will be allocated as the cost of the course, and then you decide which one is most costly, which one is least costly. Coming to the next factor is hearing support. When I say hearing support, I have to remember that you have hearing differences which have to be taken care of. So wherever you are going, check there. Do they support the individuals you have hearing differences with the technology and cooperation in both aspects? When I come to cooperation, then I say, will they allow you preferential seating Will they allow you to select a seating where you are closer to the professor and away from the noise and easy to access to the hearing? Do they allow anybody to sit who's in your class sitting next to you and you might check the notes with him or her to be sure that you have not missed anything? Do they allow live captioning if they are showing any videos? Do they allow videos of the lectures? Do you have access to that? Will you have access to hand notes? Will you have access to any note takers? All this will be considered under the technology. And when I'm talking about support, then also I will have to think of, will your professors allow you to change your batteries if required during the lecture in the classroom? Will they take the mini mic if you give them to use it during the lecture? Will they be cooperative for that? If you ask question again to repeat, do they mind that? All this has to be considered under hearing support. Again, if any audiologist is available on the board whom you can consider, is any counselor available on the board amongst the staff? Next one is placement. Whenever you are doing a course, ultimately you are thinking of earning, taking a job. So consider from that point of view. After the course is completed, does the educational institution assist you in career, assist you in job placement, assist you in getting volunteer training? Do they have internship added to the course after theory, which gives you practical training and practical knowledge? You say theory is okay, but you need to have practical training and practical knowledge before you go to the field for any particular job. So does the educational institute assist you in that, help you in that? If you need a letter or recommendation letter, will they give it for any job application? Again, check. Some of the educational institutions have campus hiring, where the different companies come and interview the students and offer them the job in their company. Is this facility available in any educational institution? You should be giving preference to that. So you will again see which institution is appropriate, most appropriate for you to do the course. The next factor is reputation of the institution. I don't mean that it's a good reputation or a bad reputation. What I mean is that there are some educational institutions which are reputed for a particular domain, area of study. For example, some of the educational institutions are known to churn out better law students, or better students in finance, or better engineers, or better in arts. So accordingly, whatever your area of study is, you should select that educational institution which will be preferred for job applications. It will be an extra marks to you if you are from that particular institution which is supporting and churning out better students in that. That means they give you better knowledge, you have better learning, and the staff is well qualified, and there's less attrition, and the staff is quite experienced, and that makes a difference when you apply for a job. Now, the last but not least is the social integration. I know it, I understand that academic qualification is very important, but for us, with respect to hearing differences especially, the social integration is equally important. So you should get a chance to have facilities of social integration and feel more comfortable with other young ones or young adults who are working with you, who are learning with you. For example, there might be some WhatsApp groups There might be some societies, there must be some clubs, there must be some groups which are for sports or extracurricular activities. You can join according to your interests and timings. You can join any of them. There can be some groups only of young adults who have hearing differences. There can be some groups of all the students in your course, in your class. So you select which one you want to attend and which one is applicable to you. Where do you feel comfortable? But it will also help you to integrate socially and have good relationship with your colleagues, with your peers who are learning with you, who are working with you. It will also give you an opportunity to use your hobbies, take care of your hobbies, because hobbies is the best stress management technique. So you will be able to follow your hobbies in certain groups. What sports you like or what activity you like, you can join that group and it will help you. So considering all this, give marks to every educational institution. So now you have 6 factors. Suppose you have shortlisted 3 educational institutions, or it can be even 5 educational institutions, depend upon your selection. So I'm assuming hypothetically that you have selected 3 educational institutions. Then you will make a comparison chart of these 3 educational institutions with respect to 6 factors. And then after making a chart, you give them marks. The institution which stands high on that particular factor gets maximum marks, and which is low gets minimum marks. So your marks will be different from 1 to 3. So the 3 will be given to the institution which is the best in that respect, and the 1 to the least in that respect, and 2 in the middle. After giving all these marks, in the end, add up the marks of the column of each institution and then see which educational institution is getting the maximum marks. You should think of that educational institution. Again, it's not binding, it's your choice. You have to discuss with your parents, with your colleagues, with your teachers. You have to decide. But this is a benchmark. This is to help you to understand that. I'll show you one sheet. See, this is the sheet you can, comparison chart you can make. So here you have the educational institution's name, 1 name, 2nd name and 3 name. You have 3 courses, 3 educational institutions for the same course, okay? And these are the 6 factors you are considering. So here you are giving 6 marks to each educational institution. For example, this might get 3 here and 1 here and 2 here, and the second it might get 1. No, instead of 3 or 2, it might get just lowest mark. Whatever after consideration you have decided, give the marks, then add this column marks in the end, and this is a good indication for you to select the educational institution. Now that you have selected the educational course and you have selected the educational institution, you are all set. If you have any questions, please get back to me, and my best wishes are with you. Thank you.